place the first track at the tip or at the end of my eyebrow on my anchor braid. So you see the track starts where my eyebrow ends, and I go through the bundle or through the weft and under the braid for this first track. That's really important because I want to be able to pull this sewing up and down. So again, you see me here going through the weft and under the braid, and you want to do you want to sew very close together with each time you go through the braid, so that there's not a whole lot of space between the sewing, and that when you pull it up, there's no gaps. Sewing really close together is gonna prevent there from being gaps when you pull it up. So again, through the weft and under the braid. And that's going to give you that flat pull up when you get ready to pull your hair up in a ponytail. So you want to take the anchor braid and bundle, or anchor braid and weft, all the way around to the start of your other eyebrow. And then once you get to the other side, you can close the track, give it a knot for safety, and then you're going to go in and start sewing at the back, and you're going to go across with horizontal pieces just up until you get to the top again. So again, I'm going to close this track off here. I'm going to go in the opposite direction and do a knot. Once I do my knot, I'm going to cut the excess thread, and then I'm going to do a couple of more knots with the thread just for additional security. Now again, I'm back in the nape, and I'm just going to go across in a horizontal way, and then I'm going to go across with tracks until I get back to the top. So again, here I'm going through the weft and under the braid just because it feels safe. And when I'm doing it myself, it's kind of hard to see, it's kind of hard to grip, so I try to go through the weft as much as possible, even if I'm going over, just because I feel like it makes for a more secure install, especially again doing it on myself because I can't see. If I was doing it on someone else, I could do the loop method, but doing it yourself and wanting it to be sturdy and secure, going through the weft is your best bet. So I'm getting to the end again here, and I'm just going to secure the end of this track, and then I'm going to do a double knot and keep going up my head with more tracks. Another thing to note with these tracks is that they've been doubled. So I use my sewing machine to sew my bundles in half, basically. I doubled them and I sewed it down. And that helps me with the amount of rows that I have to put in, especially, again, doing it myself. It takes forever already. So if I double the track, I don't have to do as many rows. I don't have to put the tracks as close together. It just gives me a little bit more leeway with not being able to see as well as I could if I was doing it on somebody else. So again, here, I'm just continuing to sew up the top of my head, up to the top of my head with these horizontal tracks going from one side of my head to the other. And then, once I get to the end, I kind of curve the track towards the front of my head so that it falls in line with that initial anchor track. Once you do that enough times, you're going to run into those two braids at the top. And so for this step, I'm adding some net so that I can have some additional anchorage for the tracks I'm about to lay in the front to create this flip over illusion. So you see me just taking a piece of a wig cap that I've cut into like a horizontal piece, and I'm just sewing that to the rectangular area that's left between those two cornrows at the front or the top of my head. So I've taken the net and I've sewn it across that entire little rectangle, and now I'm just going to cut off my excess thread. And then again, I'm going to tie a knot to make sure that that stays in place. And then from there, I'm going to go in and start laying my final section of tracks. So I'm cutting off excess lace here. Well, not lace, but, net from that cap that I just placed down. Now for this step, again, my tracks are doubled. pieces are about an inch, maybe a half inch in length, and I am sewing those vertically, I guess you could say. So the first one I laid going, down in the normal direction. The next track I'm going to place going in the opposite direction. Okay, and that back and forth is going to create volume. It's also going to create an illusion, right? So you see me close out that one, and then I'm going in with my second track, but it's going in the opposite direction. And I'm just going to go back and forth with that same method every other track until I reach the other side of my head. All right, and you want these tracks to be very close together. There should be no space. You should see no cap. You should see no scalp. The tracks need to be very close together, okay? And again, doubling my tracks for this step also helps because it's more hair with less effort, right? So tying the knot here, and then again, I'm taking this method all the way across the top of my head until I get to the other side where the anchor braid starts. All right. It's helpful to take the pieces and pull them out of the way with the clip as you move across, because like I said, placing them back and forth in different directions like that, it's kind of going to have them sticking up. So get you a clip and move that hair out the way so that you can focus on making sure the track is laid down, the threading is clean, it's not tangling, and all the things. Okay, we're almost done. We're going to get over here to this very last track here. Pull that one in. Make sure it's nice and secured. And as you can see, the hair is already like volumized and kind of in my face because of the way that I've placed it, or the way that the tracks have been placed as I've sewn them. That back and forth is, I don't know, I find that it works for me in the look that I'm trying to achieve. So again, take your time with these pieces. Take your time with the entire install if you can, because I think you'll enjoy it a little bit better if you take your time and make sure it's nice and secure. It also makes for longevity because I've been able to shampoo this several times since I've done it. I've been in the ocean. It was the perfect vacation hair because it was so secure. It's been up in ponytails. It's been to the gym. It's been so many places. So once you get that last track in, you're good to go. You can comb it out and you see that it gives that illusion of flip over. If you made it this far, like, share, subscribe, and come back so I can show you guys how I styled the leave out to blend in with this hair. So see you next time.